And here I am in Hotel Istana in Kuala Lumpur where I'm doing my 7-day quarantine. As you can see, it's really nice and spacious and spotlessly clean, as well as being really well equipped. In this part 2 of my video, you'll see my experience throughout the 7-day hotel quarantine, which is mandatory upon arrival in Malaysia, as a response, of course, to the COVID-19 pandemic. I'll also share with you my top tips, so if you're preparing to come to Malaysia, or maybe you're already in quarantine right now, then you'll find this video super useful. It's lunchtime, so let's talk about food. First thing to say about food in quarantine is that 3 meals a day are included. It doesn't really matter whether you're on the standard package where you pay 150 ringgit per night and they allocate you to a hotel, or you've chosen a premium package hotel. All 3 meals are included. Of course, in the premium package hotel, you would expect that the food is a bit nicer. And here in Hotel Istana, I can absolutely say that the food is amazing. This was one of the reasons that I chose this hotel, probably like the primary reason, and it does not disappoint. So if that's something important to you, I can highly recommend the Hotel Istana. Not being paid by them, this is not sponsored in any way. 3 times a day at set meal times, which your hotel will tell you what these meal times are. Thank you. Once you hear that, go immediately to your door, open it, pick up your food, and I would also recommend that you eat it as soon as possible. Once you bring it into your room in the air conditioning, that can cool down the food really quite quickly. So do eat your food as soon as possible as you get it, but if you sometimes don't feel like eating it quite so soon, then either resign yourself to the fact that it's going to be cold when you eat it, or bring a portable cooker, steamer type thing like I've done. Another trick which I just found earlier is that if you have a mini bar fridge in your room, see if there's any space just above the fridge for you to keep your food. Because of the radiators of the fridge, that area tends to be warmer than the rest of the room, especially if it's closed in with some doors. Now, it obviously won't reheat your food, but it will keep it warmer than if you'd left it out in the aircon. I've also heard of people getting creative or maybe desperate, where if you really have no other choice, then I've seen people with the food containers that they get, put it into the sink and then pour hot water around it. Now, I've actually tried something similar with my lunch today, not quite with the sink, so let's see if it works. But if you have any ideas or suggestions, your own experiences about how somebody might be able to heat up food in their hotel room, then do leave a comment down below. I'm sure lots of people would appreciate these ideas. Anyway, my food I think is already heated up, so let's see what I've got for lunch. So what I've got reheated up is a rice, I think. Tomatoey rice and a chicken of some sort, black pepper, and I think a beef rendang, a lobster biscuiting, and a slice of cake for dessert. You may be wondering why in the world I've got lobster bisque with this fairly obviously Malaysian other dishes. It's because after the first day I enjoyed the local dishes so much. I did try a few of the Western dishes. They were okay. The local dishes really are fantastic, so I asked the kitchen to swap everything to local dishes for me. Hotel Istana is really good in that if you have any preferences, dietary preferences, really just preferences, not because you're intolerant to something, then do ask them and they will do their best to change it. I'm actually already literally salivating. That's so good. I think especially when it's all warmed up as well, it tastes so much better. Oh, that lunch was really yummy, really satisfying, and the portions that they give you here in Hotel Istana are really, really generous to say the least. I couldn't finish my rice, and actually I've got to the point where I can't really finish the 3 meals that they give me every day. Haven't touched this cake yet. Maybe I'll eat it later. And again, the food is really, really good. Just in case for some reason you don't have enough food, and I'd be really surprised, so please do leave me a comment if that's the case for you. If you're staying here in the Hotel Istana, then they do also have a room service menu that you can order extra food from. And not only that, when I checked in, I realized that Hotel Istana had also provided a whole stash of snacks. So biscuits, some cup noodles, some potato crisps, tea and coffee making. So I think they're really trying to fatten you up when you stay here in Hotel Istana. And if that's not enough and you really want something different, there's also an option of ordering food delivery from fast food outlets like McDonald's, KFC and Pizza Hut and things like that. But honestly, if your hotel is like Hotel Istana giving you great food like this, I don't really see the point. Also bear in mind, if you get any deliveries, then they have to be in by 5 p.m. and they'll only be delivered to you around mealtime. So if you order fast food, your food is probably going to be sat there for at least an hour, and it most likely will be cold. Pretty sure it will be cold by the time it gets to you. Similarly, if you do have your friends or family bring you any extra stuff, so I don't know, clothes or a care package or anything like that, make sure that you check with the hotel. There's a list of what is allowed to be brought, what isn't. They will check this. So if you are getting friends to bring stuff to you, then make sure that they are in line with the rules. For example, alcohol and cigarettes are not allowed at any point during this day, so they will be confiscated and you won't get them. Anyway, it is mid-afternoon and looking at the sky, it looks like it's gonna rain. I'm really full from lunch, so perfect weather for a little nap, a little siesta. So I'll talk to you guys later. Obvious fact about quarantine: you are not allowed out of your room, but also no one else is allowed in. And this includes any hotel staff like housekeeping. What? So unlike a normal hotel stay where you might expect that your room gets cleaned every day, housekeeping comes in to make up your bed, your towels get changed, that does not happen during your quarantine stay. So what Hotel Istana does, and I believe this goes for all hotels as well, is to get you to do that self-service midway through your stay. About 11 a.m. this morning, they slipped a large plastic bag underneath the door, and I was meant to strip off all my dirty bed linen, take any towels and put them into this bag, zip tie it, and then place it outside my room. About 2 p.m. the doorbell rang and said, "Housekeeping." There on the chair where my meals normally are was this fresh set of clean towels and linen. So I'm gonna go ahead and make my bed. It's not my favorite chore and I'm probably not the best at it. However, it does give me something physical to do during quarantine, which is actually quite appreciated. So let's do it. So it's day 4 of the quarantine, it's Friday, and I've just got a knock on the door from the guys from Ministry of Health saying they're going to do my sampling, so I'm going to go and do that. Okay. So I just did a swab test, which I was actually expecting either Saturday or Sunday, which would have been, 1 or 2 days before I actually checked out. But they said that sometimes because there aren't many people, they bring it forward to consolidate stuff. So Hey, it's got a knock on my door. So it's today. I went downstairs. They checked that I had paid. Otherwise, they would have had to pay there. And then they just did a nasal swab. So just one nostril, but definitely felt it. Brought a bit of tears to my eye. Just because it's not, somewhere that you'd normally experience. Wasn't painful or anything like that. Just a little bit unusual to have that feeling and tear response. Another thing that I have really appreciated having with me is this yoga mat, which I brought along myself. And being stuck in a hotel room, although it's a really nice size and not doing any physical activity, is, I think, really unhealthy, not just physically but also mentally. I'm quite an active person anyway, so the yoga mat allows me to get some exercise in. I don't actually do yoga. I've been using it to do some gymnastics style calisthenics type exercises. Definitely needed, especially with all that yummy food that they have been plying me with. Speaking of food, dinner just arrived a few minutes ago, so I'm gonna get showered and then it's dinner time, so see you guys later. Tonight is the night of day 6, which means that this is the final night of my 7-day quarantine. Honestly, the whole week has flown by really quickly because of all that stuff I had to sort out with my dad. I've been working from home as well and filming these vlogs. So I'm quite excited, I guess, to finish quarantine tomorrow, mainly because it then means that I can go and visit my dad some more. One of the things I hadn't talked about yet is what happens with the MySejahtera app, which I downloaded and registered at the airport. So the only thing that has popped up with the to-do on the MySejahtera app is a daily health assessment. It's 3 very simple, quick questions, and pretty much I've not had symptoms of COVID-19 or been in contact with anyone really, so no to all of these, submit it, and then it just tells me that thank you for response, please refer your profile for your latest status. And my profile says that I am still a person under surveillance, or PUS, not exhibiting any symptoms, but I need to continue health monitoring. So I guess they'll tell me anything else I need to do when I'm checking out, but anyway, I am going to call it a night and go to sleep. So I'll see you guys tomorrow for final day of the 7-day quarantine. Good night. So it's day 7, which means that today I get to check out and finish my 7-day mandatory quarantine. Unlike in Hong Kong, where your quarantine goes all the way up till midnight, here in Malaysia, apparently you check out at a normal time, which I'm pretty happy about. So I've already packed my bags mostly, but while I was doing it, I thought that I would share with you a number of things that I found really useful to have with me during this quarantine period. And this is in addition to things I've mentioned before, like the portable cooker and the yoga mat. So I've got 5 other things that I really appreciated having with me during this quarantine. The first is an HDMI cable, which I use to connect my laptop to the television here in the hotel, just to allow myself to watch Netflix. And if you subscribe to my channel, then there's plenty of videos there to keep you entertained throughout your quarantine period. The second is a Bluetooth speaker, a portable speaker. So Yes, you can actually just use the HDMI cable, stream music to the television, but I really like having these portable speakers anyway. Sometimes quite like listening to music in the shower, and it's just nice to have with you because there's nothing else in the room that plays music. Number 3, so I've mentioned my portable cooker and food quite a few times now, and I've also really appreciated having proper cutlery with me. So with the food that they deliver, they give you these plasticky things which are just not nice to use and not good for the environment. So brought my own, and I also told them to stop giving me the plastic cutlery, so win all round. Number 4 is something that is really comforting to me. So this is a mug or cup that I use all the time at home. It's really well insulated, so if I make a hot drink, even 4 or 5 hours later, it still stays hot. Really useful to have, and they do give you these small coffee cups that they normally give you in hotel rooms. I've never liked those. So this really just gives me that little bit of comfort at home to go through my quarantine. Number 5, and finally, is a whole bunch of stuff that I'm going to lump all together, which are cleaning supplies. So as I mentioned before, there is no housekeeping service, so you have got to self-service and make sure your own space is nice and clean. So with all the cutlery, of course I needed something to wash, so I've got my washing up stuff. I also had a little dishcloth to dry cutlery and stuff afterwards, and then general cleaning stuff. So I brought my own spray of cleaning liquid and 2 cloths, one for the bathroom and one for everything else, so I don't cross-contaminate any germs. And then, this as well. That's it. I guess if you don't really want to bother with spray and stuff, but I quite like cleaning of cloths, then you can just get yourself a big pack of these wet wipe antibacterial type things. But I generally keep these for traveling, so I just have the other stuff. So those were 5 things that I really appreciated having with me. If you also have been through quarantine or you're preparing for it and you've got some bright ideas on some other things that you think might be useful to have, then do drop a comment down below and share with everybody else your ideas. I'm sure many people would appreciate it. That's me done. I'm just gonna finish packing up, put everything into the suitcase, and I guess all I have to do is wait for the call for them to let me check out. The doorbell just rang and somebody's here to pick me up to go and check out, so let's go and do it. Nearly forgot, nanti dia keluar dia bagi saman. Okay, thank you. Woo. Nearly forgot my wristband, which apparently is 1,000 ringgit fine if I get caught, but I do also have a police letter, so hopefully it's okay, and now I'm free. Apparently I can just order a Grab to get back home, so that's what I'm going to attempt. And I'm out of quarantine. I'm here in my family home where I grew up. It's actually already been a couple of weeks since I finished my 7-day hotel quarantine, and in that time my dad passed away. So grateful, however, that I managed to get this opportunity, this privilege to come back to Malaysia to spend a little bit of time with him before he passed on, and I was able to attend his funeral. Thank you so much to Malaysia for allowing this to happen. Thank you so much to all the frontliners for your amazing work. Terima kasih. And if you are traveling to Malaysia soon, then I wish you a really safe and really smooth journey. I hope all the information in this video has been really useful to you. If you have any further questions or anything's not clear, then do leave me a comment here on YouTube, or if you just want to say hi, I would also really love that. Leave me a comment here on YouTube. I do read all of my comments and I do my best to reply to as many of them as possible. So would absolutely love to hear from you. Of course, if you haven't already, then I would really appreciate it if you did click the like button underneath this video, and do consider subscribing to my channel. I would love to see you in another one of my videos, but more importantly, do remember to keep safe, keep happy, and also keep reaching out to your loved ones and let them know that you care.